And we're live.
Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects into the life. Thanks for joining me today as we uncover the mysteries of the Mandela effect itself and find out the true meaning of it all. We must discover what is really happening, what is really going on here to change these things that we know and hold dear to us. And let us help others discover the meaning of the Mandela effect and how it affects them and the price of milk. Thank you. And be sure to hit the like and subscribe down below.
Hey guys, hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. We've got a great show planned for you guys. Can't wait to show it to you. Let's see. So we just got started here. Looks like 3 of you are here. Okay. Let's get these numbers up. There's some post that was in Teresa's here with us from Teresa's Facebook group that I really want to share with you guys. And some of these may or may not be Mandela effect related, but they're just really interesting topics to talk about here. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring these up. Esther, you want to do a couple shout outs while I'm getting this up here?
The only person I see so far in the chat is Ralph and Casey Francis. And Sandy, of course.
Hey, what's up, Ralph? Good to see you. All right, so this is interesting right here. So have you guys ever heard of this thing called the crane fly? Okay. We see these a lot in the South, and they're supposedly nicknamed the mosquito hawks. They're supposed to eat mosquitoes.
Brian, read the post though, if you can. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Let me read the post. I'm sharing.
There's information about it that you'll find interesting.
Okay. They're called Tipula ultima crane fly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they look like. You've probably seen them a dozen times.
They're creepy. They scare me. Well, when I lived in Florida.
Yeah, do you guys have them there in Vegas?
No, but I remember in Florida. Trust me, they creeped me out.
That's the one I took. Now, this is zoomed at 100 times.
Wow, that's
I took
scary.
That with my picture.
I don't like those things.
No. Read what I said about them, Brian, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
So Teresa says here,
Go to the top.
They're not mosquitoes. Here's what you need to know. The crane fly has many names: skeeter eater, daddy longlegs, mosquito hawks. There are more than 15,000 species of these crane flies, and they are part of the fly family Tipulidae, often mistaken as mosquitoes or mosquito eaters. They are neither. They might eat some nectar, but during their 10-day lifespan, they want to mate and lay eggs, and that's it. They don't bite, sting, or transmit diseases. They're terrible flyers, which is why they're always bumping into you or to the wall. They're drawn to light, so they make their way into your homes through an open door or window. They are born in, and they hang around large fields of vegetation, which would explain why we see a lot of these in Alabama. If you live near grass, it's likely you have a few of them visit you this season. It will be a couple of months before birds and lizards can eat them all away. Yeah, but that's the size comparison. If you guys look here, the mosquito compared to the supposed mosquito hawk. Mm-hmm. I thought these things.
They're huge.
They told us that these things were mosquito eaters, or
nope.
They apparently they don't eat them. So I mean, I'm going, what the heck, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they did too.
I had one of those moments there. So yeah.
Were there any comments for this, Brian? Did you notice if anybody had any comments on that post that I did for you?
Yeah, Brian Paul Barrett says crane flies. I don't see them as often. Quite rare. But I have seen them around 1985 at 10 years old.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, Dee Dee says, in my reality, yes, I have. People used to say they ate mosquitoes. Evidently, that must have been the wrong info. Not only that, we've talked about this previously on the show.
Mm-hmm.
There was another insect known as the praying mantis.
Uh-huh.
And, we were told not to hurt those things because they were endangered. However, there's actually 12 different species of praying mantises. You remember they used to get punishment if you killed one of these things. You would get punishment for it.
Oh, wow.
Whether it be fine or prison time. What were you saying, Esther?
Oh, I know sometimes they go on like endangered and then they take them off because they're flourishing and things like that.
Yeah,
like,
see, I never knew that. I thought once you're endangered, you're endangered.
Yeah, I think at one point they were saying even mosquitoes were endangered, and I'm like, let's endanger them, please. But I know that they're supposed to be helpful for the environment, but I don't like them. I don't like mosquito. I am a mosquito magnet. I'm thankfully not a tick magnet, but I'm a mosquito magnet. They won't leave me alone.
Yes. Apparently, I guess you're, a lot of us have sweet blood, so they're going to go after you. Yeah. Mosquitoes are terrible. They're seasonal though. So it's a good thing you don't have to deal with them all year round.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather be a mosquito magnet than a tick magnet, though. At least that's a good thing.
Yes. And ticks love tall grass.
Yeah.
So here's another post from Adrian Esquivel. Am I saying that right? Okay. So he's saying here, Cristo de la Paz figure, monument religious is grand in Latin America. Talking about the Christ. Is this Christ the Redeemer? It's like Christ the Redeemer in Brazil. That's what he's trying to say. Oh, he's saying it's Mas Grande, so that means it's bigger. It's bigger than Christ the Redeemer in Brazil. And this is at the city in Tabasco in Latin America. That's crazy. Look at that. It's huge.
It doesn't mean it's bigger. It says it's a monumental figure that is very large.
Well, he said it's Mas Grande, so that means it's more.
Yeah,
It's
Mas
bigger.
is very and Grande is large, very large.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's saying it's bigger than that.
It is?
Yeah.
You could look it up if you want to. Try Googling and see what it says. Try Googling it.
Yeah, I'll try that. Let me see if I can use Google Translate.
You could
here.
try to copy and paste the name of it. Maybe just copy it, the name, and then paste it. Yeah, you can do that. Cristo de la Paz.
Hold on, let me see if I can do a Google Translate.
It is larger or bigger. You're right, Brian. More great.
Yeah, it's bigger than Christ the Redeemer.
That's huge. I mean, look at below how little everything is.
That's the thing, though. It doesn't look bigger.
Perception, Sandy. Perception, probably.
I guess it doesn't look bigger though.
How tall is it, Brian? Can you Google it? Cristo de la Paz.
Okay.
Go into Google. See what it says.
Cristo de la Paz.
Yeah. Just curious what it says about it.
Okay.
There you go. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Does it say how tall it is?
It measures 153 feet tall.
Wow.
It's the tallest statue, 48th tallest statue in the world.
Wow.
Okay, now how big is Christ the Redeemer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you got me curious.
I know, me too.
Okay, remember that number. Okay, so Redeemer is only 98 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
So it is Mas Grande.
Yeah, it is bigger.
Hey.
Yep.
Next time you go to Taco Bell, say I want Mas Grande, Mas Grande meat or Mas Grande burrito.
Oh no, that's too much.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Adrian. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Brian, he also goes by the name Lord Celtic Frost.
Okay. That's cool.
That's his other name.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so
We got
we'll
more
put some
Facebook
next
stuff,
here.
Brian.
It's good stuff. Yeah, we like presenting stuff from the group. If you guys are not members yet, you can check it out. Become a member of Mandela Reality Residue Hunters. It's going on 5 years now. 5 years on
Next
May the
next
4th.
month.
May
Mm-hmm.
the
May
4th.
4th.
Right.
is how we remember it because it's May the 4th.
This one is cool. I found this one. I'm like, what?
Yes, fossilized lightning. That's
Bring
pretty
up
great.
the article.
No, what's inside of it?
Tanner says looks like a cat turd covered in litter.
Right, Leon, Mandela affected. I'm right there with you. I don't know what's going on. Mandela affected
What is it?
says, really? There are only 5 people here? Yeah, I know. I don't understand.
I did the post in the groups.
Yeah, do you guys see my screen here? No, you're not seeing it, are you? Yeah, it took me to an external. Let me show you guys this. Hold on.
Okay.
It took me. I'm trying to keep it where I can look at the chat also, so that way it only shares the one tab. All right, so you guys see this, right? This is from lifescience.com.
Yes, that's where I
It's an
found
article here showing about never before seen crystal-like matter hidden in a chunk of fossilized lightning. It's probably a brand new mineral. So yeah, it's fossilized lightning. It was left behind when a tree in Florida was struck by lightning.
it. I thought it was cool, Brian.
Yeah, because they're saying these elements aren't even found on Earth. I read that.
So listen, I just want to make a note about Teresa's group. I just put a link in my chat. Make sure you answer the questions or the moderators will automatically decline you.
Yes, please.
Yes, I have declined 3 so far this week because they have not answered the questions.
Yeah.
Hi, Analog Line.
Welcome.
People are trickling in very slowly. We're at 4 people in my chat right now, and that includes me.
Yay.
Yeah, we got 15 so far. 15. Thank you guys for coming.
Brian, there's more things that I sent you.
Yeah, I've got 2 more things here to present.
Thank you.
Michael E is in the chat. Hey, Michael.
You're welcome, Teresa.
We got
Thank
Ralph,
you.
Michael, Analog, Mandela Affected.
Yeah,
He's in my
Simon
chat.
here says, oh, cool. Simon says. that actually
Simon
worked out.
says.
So I'm watching the movie National Treasure, and at the end credits, these 2 names struck me. Okay, I thought they were both John, John, not Jon? Question mark. Anybody else think that these 2 names have changed? I watched the movie a good few months ago, and I'm sure they were both John. John. Then strange that both Johns seem to have dropped the H. What?
I don't know
No.
Turtle, but John Voight, I do remember. I remember seeing it Jon, but I remember it with an H.
I
Hi,
remember
Francine.
John Voight with an H. That's crazy.
I actually don't remember it with the H. But then again, it might have changed a while ago for me, and I might not have noticed it.
Wow, it just got super quiet.
I know. Like, what? Yeah, I didn't know what happened. I'm like, my internet's been pausing a little bit tonight, so I thought it was me. Yeah, we have a few people. We got Mandela Affected, Rich Visanic,
Oh,
Kimberly
I'll go
Patrick,
let you in, Mandela Affected.
of course, Analog Line, Michael E, Green Sleeves 20, Tony, Francine.
Cool.
You're
Brian,
in.
how many more, sir?
No, not yet. Let's not necessarily.
Somebody needs to go to bed.
Mhm.
Thank you.
She's okay. She's my little helper.
She passed her bedtime.
Yeah, that's what the mama cow said to the baby cow. It's past your bedtime. Yep.
What else you got there, Brian? I think there was the other one that I said make sure you show. What was the other one?
There's some kind of a solar eclipse alert now.
Yes, that's the best one out of all of them. Well, besides the fossilized thing, that was another good one. But yeah,
April
This
is
one-
it April 20th?
yeah.
Wow.
Read what it says, Brian. This one is bizarre.
So it's a hybrid solar.
Never
eclipse.
heard of that. Ask people in the chat if they ever heard of this before. I haven't.
I've never heard of it. So it's a hybrid solar eclipse not visible from Pakistan.
Yep.
So it's a shift from a total to annular as the moon's shadow races over Earth in some places, and the moon completely blots out the sun, whereas in others, a ring of light is visible around the edge of our natural satellite, the moon. So these eclipses are rare, occurring just a few times every century. Wow, how do they know? And one will grace our planet's skies less than 10 days from now. The eclipse begins at 7:37 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in places near Madagascar and to Antarctica in the southern Indian Ocean. It will last be seen 10:56 a.m. PST across New Zealand meridian. The total and the annular solar eclipse will be visible from regions along the thick blue-red curve across Western Australia, Timor, West Papua, shown in the solar eclipse map below. This is published by NASA, of course. This eclipse will not be visible for most of Asia, including Pakistan, Europe, Africa, and the Americas. So if you live in America, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see it.
Aw.
No chance of Hilal visibility in evening of this day, April 20th from Australia. So yeah, it's just interesting. It is called a hybrid. The last of these things occurred was November 3rd, 2013.
I've never heard of this before. Have you guys?
Francine and Mandela affected both say no.
I was like,
And I
no,
haven't.
I've never heard of a hybrid. I mean, that is bizarre. And I'm like, no, I've got to post this. And
Yeah,
I thought this was worth showing tonight for you guys.
How does that happen? I've only heard of total and partial. That's all I've ever heard of.
I know, Brian. This is why I had to show. That's why I had to show you this.
That's pretty
It's
wild.
crazy. Yeah. Good find.
Me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was tripping.
Evie, have you ever heard of a hybrid solar eclipse?
No.
Yes, you've heard of it?
Yeah.
Where did you hear that at? I should do a whole another YouTube channel and ask Evie Mandela questions.
Or
See
you
if she
could
gets
make
it.
it a series. You could just make it a series.
Make it a series, yeah.
But Mandela affected says, oh, Mandela affected, by the way, is Lurk Learner.
Oh, really?
So, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I have to do the clock out thing, so I'm just going to be muted for the next 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
All right.
That's fine. I'm going to talk about Teresa's new Mandela effect next.
Thank you.
'Cause I know Teresa, she's got to go so she could.
I think I can last a little bit longer.
So
I'm Ryan.
yeah,
I think I can
You'll
last a little bit longer.
You have like 3 things tonight, Teresa.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
there's 3 things, so.
I'm going to try my best. Stay with you
All right.
guys.
All right, this is all you, Teresa, right here.
I'm ready. Okay, credit Teresa Lynch. The title of this 2004 movie about the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ has changed for me.
Yeah, and the main reason why we're talking about this is because Easter just passed
Yeah.
past Sunday. So yeah, it's kind of relevant.
What title do you remember? The Passion of. Fill it in. What do you
Okay.
remember?
I'm going to need other people to read the chat for me, please.
Okay.
Oh,
Let me
did
see
you
what
know they're
people.
making a part 2?
Christ, the Christ.
There's bubbles.
Oh, some people remember the Christ.
Oh, it's more older.
Which Rasanic remembers Christ. Adam for Christ.
Wow.
The Christ
Wow.
of the Christ. The Christ. The Christ.
I would.
But was it? Hang on. Was it
You'll see, Brian. You'll see.
right?
Just Rich is the only one that so far says that it's just Christ, but everybody else has said it's Passion of the Christ.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yay.
Green Sleeves, Hebrew, Mandela.
Interesting.
All of them all said the Christ, except
All of them
Francis.
are
Hero, you're
saying
welcome
Christ.
to join
Christ.
us. We sent the links in the chat, Hero.
Hey, bro, come join us. Send him a StreamYard, Brian.
Francine
He's in our group.
does remember.
Yeah,
just
it's in the group chat.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. And there's plenty of residue for what I remember, too. I remember the Passion of Christ, but it's always been the Passion of the Christ. I don't remember the second the.
But hold
There's
on a
like-
minute, Teresa.
What?
You notice that the letters are merged and the P is broken?
Yeah, I was going to mention that, Sandy. I forgot to. Yeah, it's merged. See it?
The A and the S is merged.
I know. I was going to mention it. That's what I meant to tell you. The merging. That's what it was. Okay. Mel Gibson starred in Passion of the Christ. As a side note, for some weird reason, myself and Sandy remember Mel Gibson directing, which he did direct, and starring in the movie. Does anyone remember him starring in this movie, or are we losing it?
Can I say something here, Teresa?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I think Sandy, it's okay. It's a slight. I think it might have been an error, but
What?
When we did that previous slide where we were asking to fill in the blank, I think the blank should have been in that first spot.
Huh?
Yeah, because
No.
you see the residue you're sharing here. It actually says Passion of the Christ, which is what you said you remembered.
No,
But-
she remembers Passion of Christ.
I don't remember
No,
the second
No,
the.
this residue here is showing Passion of the Christ.
That's not residue. The residue is that Mel Gibson starred in the movie.
Yeah. We weren't talking about the other part of the
Okay. It's just because I'm seeing the green box around there. I'm thinking it's
Yeah,
residue.
no, that was to talk about Mel Gibson.
Okay.
Not the part that
Go
I
back,
found.
Brian. We're asking a question of the chat.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Jared
Teresa.
doesn't remember. Girl doesn't remember of the
Yeah, I just remember.
Passion.
I just remember the Passion of Christ. I don't remember the Passion of the Christ. There's too many thes for me.
But
I only
Teresa,
remember
ask
one
him
the.
this question again because Brian jumped over it.
Oh,
Just directed. He was the director. Nobody remembers him starring.
yeah.
Thank you.
He was just directed. I don't remember him being in it except for just directing it. I don't remember him acting in it at all.
Are you ready to move on to the next slide?
Go ahead.
Yes, and
Good.
I'm back now.
Okay. And this is residue of what I do remember. And believe it or not, there was residue for it. The Passion of Christ. See, there you go. The Passion of Christ. I don't remember this. I don't remember a the being between the of and Christ. That's the thing.
Or
It's
the
like way
actual
too many
actor
thes.
does it
It's
by
too
lightning.
many. It does sound like too many does.
See, now that you look at it, doesn't it seem more right? The Passion of Christ.
See,
The more you look at it.
I'm actually remembering Passion of the Christ. I don't remember the two does.
Really?
And so is Mandela affected. Francine remembers Christ.
Wow.
But
always called it
Mandela
Passion of
affected
the
is
Christ.
screaming it's the.
Isn't that crazy how we're split on this? And there,
Carol
look at
Chanel
this.
does
Christ.
not remember of the.
More familiar.
See, and look at even a movie place was announcing, look, free Easter event showing the Passion of Christ movie. They even remember this. Look, drama.
Mhm.
They were showing it in 2005.
Thank you.
And then that cast member there, Jim Caviezel, he's the one who played Jesus. But Sandy and I remember Mel Gibson playing a bigger part in the movie, but supposedly he only had a tiny part in it while directing it at the same time. That's what's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe he was going to star in it, and because of what happened, he changed. I have to look
I
into it
know.
more.
It's crazy. And here's more residue. Movie tour, The Passion of Christ by Mel Gibson and Matera, Italy. There's
Yeah,
so much
but-
residue.
Yeah, but there's no way that the logo was merged like that. And the
Yeah, I
T is
know.
broken.
Yeah, it's weird. I know. I looked at it for a minute and I'm like, and I meant to tell Sandy about it. I just blew my mind.
Yeah, I was too busy putting the slides together and writing
Yeah.
words to look at the logo.
Yeah,
For me, it was Passion of the Christ, not the Passion of the Christ.
yeah.
That's just me.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. All right. So
Oh,
we're
was
on
that
to-
it? Was that it?
That's the last slide
Of that
Okay.
one, yeah.
for
No,
that
more.
one. Yeah.
I thought it was a good find. I accidentally found it. I was looking at Netflix and it popped up and I'm like, something's off about that title. And that's how I found it accidentally. Like everything else.
All right, Teresa, you're up again with this next.
Got another one. I'm on a roll.
Don't order. Let's order food. We don't order food.
Let's see what this one is. Oh, credit Teresa Lynch. One of the stars of the 1968 movie, The Odd Couple, has changed for me.
No. Let's order the food. We don't order. We don't order. We don't order.
Yeah. I'll be right back, guys. Yeah, go ahead and I'll flip it over.
We'll move to the. There you go. Okay. Please spell his last name the way that you remember it. Jack. Shall I say the name, Sandy?
You can say it. Yeah, they're just spelling it.
Jack Lemmon. How do you remember his last name being spelled? He was a famous actor back, I guess, the 60s and 70s. Is that right? Maybe further back.
Yeah.
And how do you remember his last name being spelled? Lemon. Jack Lemmon.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on mute. You guys can just interface with me.
Okay.
I'll be listening.
Okay. Let's see what they say in the chat. Oh, I can't see it. Chat comments. Richard Fasanic says Lemon. Mandela Affected says not familiar with them at all. Francine remembers Lemon. Greensleeves 20 remembers Lemon.
I remember Lalande, Jack Lalande. He's a famous. He's the juicer.
No. That has something to do with this. It's a
Oh.
completely different actor.
Gerald Neal
you're-
remembers 2 M's.
He remembers 2 M's. Anybody else? Jack Lemmon. How do you spell his last name? No? Nobody else?
Are you looking at Brian's chat or my chat?
I can't look at your chat, Sandy. I can't be in them both. Sorry.
No. If you're in Brian's chat, you can see both. That's why I was asking.
Oh.
Sandy,
Oh, okay.
Sandy, I've already showed him on the screen.
I know. I see that.
Okay. Well, let's just move on then. Brian.
Yeah, guys. Hebro just joined us. Welcome, Hebro.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
Jeremy.
bro. Hey, bro.
How's it going, guys?
Not much. I'm on here tonight. Wow.
I see that. Been a while.
I know. I'm trying my best to stay awake. I'm trying. I'm going to try to get through mine at least. I just get tired so early, you know.
Adam for Christ remembers Lemon.
Wow. What do you remember, Hebro?
I
Do you know who Jack Lemmon is, the actor? An older actor?
But I remember lemon like the fruit. How you spilled the fruit.
You remember it like I do. Okay, good. You remember like me,
Sorry, I need
L-E-M.
to interrupt for 1 second. Mandela affected. I already let you in the group. You're already in there. You're good to go.
Is in my group?
She, yeah.
She, oh, it's a she?
AJ girl.
Ah, I didn't know that. Okay.
Alone
All right.
remembers 2 M's.
Wow.
High
It's kind of-
Pockets is 2 M's.
It's kind of split then.
No, I would say it's more like the fruit.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. I remember his name spelled just like the fruit, Lemon. But his name has always been spelled with 2 M's. Does Lemmon match your memory? It just looks so weird. What do you mean? What do you remember, Esther?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't really know that guy.
Oh, you don't? Yeah, it is an older actor.
Hey,
A lot of
Teresa,
the, uh-huh.
Mandela affected. She lives in Vegas.
Are you serious?
She says.
I do too.
Francine agrees with lemon, the fruit.
She literally lives in Las Vegas.
The comment says, I'm here, y'all. I'm also in Vegas.
No way. Wouldn't it be funny if we were neighbors?
She said, yes.
Tell her I live on the west side of town near, oh, she can hear.
She
I live
can
near
hear you talk.
I live near Tropicana and Port Apache area. She'll know where I'm talking about. See what she says. Trop and Fort is my area of town. The
Oiler
west.
Greg. Hello,
Yeah.
Oiler Greg. Welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
She's on
next
Tropicana.
Wait, is she near me? That would be crazy.
You guys should meet up at the Walmart.
We'll meet at Marmart. I'm going tomorrow. I have to pick up my script for my high blood pressure anyway. Wow. That's crazy.
I have to get their number and
Yeah, you know, I stopped drinking coffee pretty much because it was raising my blood pressure.
I have to take it.
If I stopped drinking coffee, man, I don't know what I would do. I would be asleep most of the day.
I'm with you,
Oh,
bro.
she lives near Boulder. Ooh. That's like the opposite side for me. The opposite side.
I'm still having a hard time staying awake.
I'm getting there, guys. Okay, next slide, please.
Did you,
Somebody?
did you read this one?
Yes, I did. Go ahead, Brian. And then we're going to show some residue. Sandy, I think that one changed. Oh, no, I see it. Never mind.
Welcome, Quentin Danto.
More residue. Lemon. Where'd you see the good piece of residue, right, Sandy? You know what I'm talking about?
I thought we just passed it.
Oh,
there it is, right there.
The back of a picture even has it like this.
No, I'm talking about the album. The album has it printed.
Oh, there it is. The album's in the top right corner. Lemon. It's on an actual album. I think that's kind of cool.
Hi, John Nada. It's Lemmon now.
Oh.
John Nada, I have you in one of my stop motion videos. Your name. I think you're a wrestler. Yeah, like a generic wrestler.
So make sure to check it out, John Nada.
Hey, bro.
Hey, Teresa.
Long time no talk.
Well, I know. It's been, 6 months?
I lost track.
Okay, I think this is Teresa's last one of the
Thank
night.
you. Thank you. I'm literally starting to crash right now. I'm so sorry. Okay. Credit me, Teresa Lynch. Have you ever heard of mega cryometers? This one's going to blow your mind, guys.
Hi, Jency. So we're looking for yes and no's in the chat. Have you ever heard of mega cryometeors?
I haven't.
These look like hell balls.
Yes,
Oh.
it does, don't it?
These are the small ones.
Yeah.
High Pocket says no. Jency says no. Gerald Neal says no.
I'm
Mandela
assuming that's
affected.
ice. Is that ice like hail?
Yes, but not hail. Mandela affected says nope. Adam for Christ says no. Francine says no. I say no. John Nada says no. Esther, you say
No.
Hebrew, you say
Never heard of them.
I never heard of it either.
Green
I just-
Streets 20 says no. Mr. Super Sidewinder says no. I think we're at 100%.
Look at
These are medium to gigantic chunks of ice that fall from a clear blue sky. Not even kidding, guys.
that. Holy
Quentin
crap! That
says
thing
no.
looks like a
Wait, does that have anything to do with what they're putting in the air? Wink, wink.
Possibly, Brian. I agree. Check that out.
No, I think we'll get to it. There's more.
Okay. Go ahead, Brian. Scientists still aren't sure what causes these to fall from the sky. Some think they are chunks of ice falling off an aircraft, but it doesn't explain those that fall in areas where planes do not fly, or
I
the
was-
ones shaped like balls.
Teresa, I was just going to say it sounds weirdly like that movie Joe Dirt. You know, it's a space peanut. It's a space peanut.
I was
Oh,
gonna
I
say
don't remember the movie, Brian. It's been so long since I've seen it. I'm sorry.
it was a big old hunk of poop.
And check this out. The scientist is examining it. Others believe that they are chunks of ice falling from space because of the literal craters that they can leave when they land. Look at the craters that they're making
Wow.
from the ice.
Francine, they can happen anywhere at any time.
Man, just imagine you could be out walking your dog and then all of a sudden one of these babies falls off.
Boom. Now I'm going to start looking up in the sky when I'm walking around more.
How long has this been going on? You think we would have heard of it by now? I mean, way before now.
Which is why I brought this to Sandy's attention, didn't I, Sandy? Right away.
Yeah, she did.
I thought it was crazy. What do you think causes these huge chunks of ice to fall from the sky? Look at that poor guy's car or lady's car.
You can see the ice in the car.
Yeah, you can park your car, guys, anywhere,
it's,
and then all of a sudden it makes a big hole in your window, and you're like, "What the heck?"
It's the warming trend. Whatever that warming trend is they talk about.
El
You know what I'm
Nino?
talking about. No,
El
you
Nino?
know, no, it's the one that starts with a G.
Oh.
I can't say it. Warming. Blank. G,
Oh, I'm
blank,
talking
warming.
about
Yeah.
the round. Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah. Us
Imagine
round people.
turning this into your
Well,
insurance.
Gerald Neal has a good point. Gerald Neal says, if they're from space, how does it make it through the atmosphere? They would disintegrate before reaching the Earth, right? Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
if they're blocks,
unless these things were like the size of a car.
I mean, if they're blocks of ice, they would
Uh,
up and re-entry, right? They would
Right,
melt.
but I'm saying if they're huge, they would just shrink.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But
yeah.
wouldn't we be like watching it and be like, wouldn't we get an alert of something that big is coming at us?
Yeah, you would think they'd pick up on
Saying it's not like you can track it like a hurricane. Watch your head, ice coming down
No.
in 3 minutes.
Supposedly they
Run.
do track that stuff.
Mysterious ice chunks crashed through Chicago man's roof. Oh my God. There's no pictures, Sandy?
No, there was a video and it kept giving me an error, so I just left it on the black screen.
Oh. Connor's friend thinks. Oh, never mind.
It was from 2015 though, so they probably took it down.
Is that it for me, guys, tonight?
I think that was your last one, Teresa.
Are you sure? Oh, wait. Oh. I wish you could find a video for it, Brian.
It was probably just an interview, Teresa, and a picture of the man's
Oh.
hole. It's not like you're going to see it falling.
Raindrops.
You know, I hate to be,
Ice block.
I hate to be Chicken Little here, but I believe the sky is falling.
Francine, that would kill you. Not even knock you out. That would
No,
kill you.
I mean, like
Terrifying.
dropping a big old chunk of concrete on your head.
Yeah,
Pretty much,
seriously.
yeah. Are we done with me for tonight?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, I thought, but Brian, which one's next? Is it Karen?
So, guys, I'm gonna go, okay? I'm tired.
Okay.
Okay, see
All
you,
right.
Teresa. Thanks for
Have a
coming.
good night, Teresa.
Good night,
Good
guys.
night.
Thank you for letting me come on and show my stuff.
No
You
problem.
did great, Teresa. Welcome back.
Thank you. I tried. I'm just starting. I'm getting
Teresa's
tired.
Teresa's gonna be around over the next couple weeks because she has like 16 to present. So
Yeah, but I'm starting to crash now. Sorry.
no, I mean you're gonna be in the beginning of the next few shows. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody, thank you for coming. And I will be back again next week. Everyone in the
Everyone's
chat.
saying good night to you in the
Have
chat.
a good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
Hey, well, how does it go? Good night. Say good night, Gracie, and then she's supposed to say good night, Gracie. Is that right?
And now it's just say good night,
Yeah,
and she says good night. Noble
I
found that.
know. So creepy.
It takes the joke out of it.
I know.
It doesn't make sense.
Not
Okay.
at all.
Good night, Gracie. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Esther, do you want to read? Because you said that you were getting tired.
This is just a quick question that Karen would like to ask about Erin Brockovich, the woman, not the movie. Ooh. Please do not look this up. Just answer what you remember. Is Erin Brockovich still alive? If no, what do you remember? If no, when do you remember her dying?
So say here, Brian, we're asking a question. Is she alive? Yes or no? What do you remember?
I don't remember.
High Pocket says yes. Mandela Affected says yes. Green Sleeve says yes. Jency is guessing yes. Teresa was a no. I do know that. John Nada says yes, she went to Ohio. She's in Ohio now looking into the Palestine thing. See, that's why we should have asked this before that happened.
I just saw that like not too long ago.
And I'm wondering if that's why everybody knows that she's alive now. Because of the Palestine thing.
Interesting. Could be.
But
Is it possible clone here? Maybe, I don't know.
No, but the thing is, they're not saying no. I thought she died, but she's in Ohio, so they clearly remember her being alive.
True.
Okay, well,
Erin Brockovich is alive and well. She is 62 years old, but both Karen and her husband remember her dying twice. The first time was sometime in the early 2000s, within a couple of years of the 2000 movie being released. They both remember her dying of cancer from being in the town of Hinckley, California. Then in 2012, they heard on the news that she had died again for them. The same reason as well, cancer. But like I stated, she is 62 years old today and very much alive. Do you remember? Do any of you share their memory?
So they were watching the news and heard again in 2012 that she had died, when they already thought that she had died in the early 2000s. So in whatever reality they were in, she died twice, and she's still alive today.
Well, see, here's the thing for me. Other than the movie, I really didn't know a whole lot about Eric Brockovich because, like, I never really followed. So for me, it's like I just don't have that same, memory.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, I don't either. I didn't really know much about her. I watched the movie once.
John Nada says the other whistleblower died.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, we're on to Esther's Mandela effect here.
Oh boy, I forgot. Esther, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's fine. So I'm just moving.
We're almost done. We're flying through this.
All right. So recently, I saw a word in the Bible I have never heard of in the passage I know really well. Passages that never use these words or this word. Multiple passages and multiple Bible translations now use this word. I am going to use Acts 7:32 as an example. Then Moses trembled and blank, not behold.
So guys, do you know this verse? And even if you don't know this verse, what do you think the word is that should be in that blank?
Now keep in mind, I only read one translation. I do not read multiple translations. I only own one. I have like 4 Bibles and they're all the same. I also have a Strong's Concordance that goes with it. I've also read the Greek lexicon as well. I used to listen to the Bible from Genesis and Luke word for word. And not only did I watch it, but I also listened to them say things acted out with the Bible translation at the same time. So when I read in Luke is where I found the word, I was totally thrown because I've heard that verse many, many times. I actually rewatched the passage where it came from today, and I specifically remember that part of like how the actors were acting and everything in that part. I've watched
That's
those
coming up
things
too.
so many times. So for me, I'm just like, I've never heard of this word before, and it changes the entire passage with this new word.
Well, wait a minute. We have heard the word, but used as a last name only, not in the Bible.
Somebody actually guessed it.
Ah, yeah.
Did they look it up?
Fancy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was totally thrown. I was like, no, because I was reading, because with my pastor was in Luke, and I had just went a couple pages back, and I was like, what? I was totally thrown for a loop.
I can't see Brian's chat. All I can see is mine.
Yeah, the only person that had an answer was, sorry, the name is just barely Jency. And everybody else is, I don't know.
Francine, I don't think it's in ours. We have the Catholic Bible, I think, unless you have a King James.
I
think even New King James also has it.
have a King James.
Yeah, I mean, at church they use the ESV, but I always have my Bible as well. So I only read mine. So yes, I've heard other translations, but I've only ever read mine. And like I said, I know Luke pretty well.
But I'm with Sandy though, is I did have a Catholic Bible for like the longest time, but yeah, now I got a King James, and I never had one before. So there is a lot of differences if you look at the Bibles and you look at the different, one says this way and one says the other way, and just that one word can change an entire meaning of stuff.
Right.
But my King
Oh, yeah.
James actually came from Armor Up. So, go. Sorry.
Oh, I rewatched the thing, and now hearing the word in there and knowing what it means, I had to look it up because I had never heard this word. I looked it up, and it's an archaic meaning of the word. So it's actually an old phrase that is only used in a very, very few translations because it is a very archaic translation of the or use of the word.
And we will be looking at the
At least
Bible,
11
the translations that have it. But Brian, we
Yes.
can go
And
on because
also-
guys, Jency looked it up. She has the answer in the chat because they're all like, "What's the word?" It's in the chat, guys.
Yeah, Durst. Durst is the word. So we're just going to go ahead and, you
Durst.
can see it's also in Esther.
Like Fred Durst, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Moses trembled and dared not look upon him, is what Esther remembers. But she is more familiar with the passages that now use Durst in Genesis and Luke. Oh, it's not in Genesis.
Yeah.
So not only has dared changed, but Durst, but look upon him changed to behold in her Bible. So you can see right there where Durst is. That was taken from the Strong's Concordance itself. That has every word from the King James Version in that Strong's Concordance, and you can see how many times it's been used. And mostly in the New Testament, which I've read many, many times.
So it's in Esther, Job, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, and Jude.
Yeah, Durst is an archaic word used for like dare. You wouldn't dare to do something.
Yes, Durst is a word, Gerald Neal. We're going to get to the definition in a minute.
Durst not behold. Sounds so
That's
weird.
crazy though.
Especially when I read it in Luke. It totally threw me.
Like, you never think you'd see something like that in the Bible, just like the word couch or what was the other? There's been many throughout the years. I know
bottle. Penny, actually, I almost feel like that one might have still been in there for me personally, but like bottle, definitely that had changed in Genesis, in Abraham's story, where he's talking about a bottle. I'm like, no. She did not take a bottle out to the wilderness when she was pregnant with Issachar. It did not happen.
But again, guys, it's not just that this word that she's never heard of. She knows these passages. She knows this Bible translation and has never seen this word before.
Yes. So I love Luke, specifically the parables, which is where this is located, in the parables. And the parables was my favorite one.
Which is the next slide if Brian would go to it.
I think he's fallen asleep.
Brian, next slide.
Oh, there it is, right there.
There it is.
Other passages that have changed for me, which was Luke 20:40, and after they durst not ask him any question at all. It was not that. It was more of like a word of like refrain. They stopped asking him questions. And then King Ahasuerus answered and said, Unto Esther the queen, who is he, and where is he, that he durst presume in his heart to do so? That he presumed in his heart to do so is the word. I don't even have to think about that one. I read that. Obviously, I've read Esther a few times. Do you remember durst to dare being in your Bible? Not all translations use the word, but I know a lot of you use the King James Version, which has always included durst in this reality. And keep in mind, my Strong's Concordance that I own, I've had since at least 1999. I think it's older than that, but I've owned it since at least then. So it's quite old. And these pictures were taken from that Strong's Concordance.
Did you read this? Oh, we're on that thing now.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm trying to also read the comments as well. And I'm just.
All right, so here's the other translations. And Brian, you can go back.
Durst not bringing. So frustrating.
Yeah. So it's also in the American Standard Version, the Douay Rhymes 1899 American Edition, the BRG. Is that what that says? It's so small I can't read it. Yeah, BRG
Yeah, I think it is
Bible.
BRG.
There's
I
a
don't
very
know what
old
BRG.
Bible on the top left with the Durst. It's like an illustrated
It's
Bible.
Yeah.
You can go next slide, Brian. I don't know. I haven't seen Philo. She sometimes pops in at the last second. Hey, Shelby.
It looks like burst. Durst.
Yeah, it's I.
It looks weird.
If I had seen that, I would have been like, oh, I would have looked it up a long time ago because I never that's a weird word. I literally had to look it up because I had never heard of it before. I mean, I had an idea of what it was because of the context, but I had to look it up because it's like you can't just assume that that's what it means either. Like mandrakes, it used to mean, and if you look it up on Google, it means a plant. But if you look it up in my Strong's Concordance, in every phrase, in every definition in my Strong's Concordance, it now means a kettle or a woven basket. So I don't know what happened to the translation to a plant that was out in the field that
You
really
guys?
picked for Leo.
You guys, did you hear what John Nada was saying? He said, I feel like I think I know why this is all happening.
Okay, but where's the rest of the statement?
Yeah, John Nada, can you please? I want to know. I want to know why it's all happening. Please tell us.
Francine, it depends on your version of the Bible. Do you have King James? Because if you have the Catholic Bible, you're not going to find Durst. It's not in the Catholic Bible.
It's in the Young's Living Literal Translation. And Geneva Bible.
1599 Geneva Bible. Yeah.
Well, I think
the
the
Wycliffe
because it
Bible.
says archaic, so it would have to be like the old translations. But any of the newer ones, I don't think NIV or anything would have that. But it would just probably have dare. I believe it had dare in it, which in Luke doesn't make any sense because the Sadducees didn't stop asking questions because they didn't dare ask him another question. That would be the Pharisees, not the Sadducees. The Sadducees were asking him questions about the resurrection because they didn't believe in the resurrection, and they were trying to trip him up. the Pharisees were the ones who would dare Jesus to get him to trip him up, to get him to say something, so that way they could get him. The Sadducees were there just asking questions because they were curious. So it's like, oh, they weren't daring him. They refrained from asking more questions because they realized what he was saying was wise, and they didn't want to ask him any more questions because they didn't want to have to start questioning their own beliefs at that point, because they were worried, because it changes the entire meaning of the passage when you say the Sadducees didn't want to dare to ask him any more questions. And that had nothing to do with why they were asking questions. And it just changes everything.
All right, we're on to the next one here. All right, you may not know this store because it's located sporadically across the mid to eastern United States, but the name has drastically changed from my memory, so I'm asking. Hebrew, did you want to read this? Did you want to read this slide deck? You haven't done one yet.
No.
I think this is the only one of mine tonight.
Sorry, I was taking a bite of food.
It's okay. You want to read this one, or you want to let someone else do it, or?
Yeah, I can read this.
Okay.
Let's see here. I can't fit the logos here, so the choices will be on the next slide. The question is, which name is the store name Remember? For those of you unfamiliar, it's a Christmas store that only sells Christmas items during the Christmas season. It's more like a Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I use the old logo. I hate the new one.
So you have to go to the next slide, Brian, for them to choose. So, if you guys are familiar with this store, which spelling do you remember for Christmas tree? Do you remember Christmas tree shop, shops, or shops? And yeah, Jency, you're not going to know because this is only in the eastern United States. It's in the Midwest to the eastern United States. So if you're on the West Coast, you're west of the Mississippi, you probably won't have ever heard of this. And if you're out of the United States, forget it. I wish Jeff was here because he clearly remembers it like I do. Teresa does too, and she left.
Actually, now I'm seeing the images, and yeah, my brain goes, oh, it's not the one I thought it was.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to
Yeah,
answer.
I feel like
remember.
Actually,
I feel like it
number
was a one. I think it was a one.
Number 2 looks familiar, but number 1 also does. So those two are definitely like top. Like number 2 looks. My brain wants to continue to go to that one, but also just shop as well. Like those two are I think probably because it's changed a couple of times for me. They both look correct. But
I didn't hear you over Evie. Which one do you remember again?
Number 2 is the one that I want to go to, but also Christmas Tree Shop, the very first one, not the number 3, but number 1 actually looks the most familiar. Like Christmas Tree Shop. That's the one that my brain, like, it looks like that's correct, but shops also looks familiar as well, like with the S, but not number 3. That's not the one that looks familiar. And we do have Christmas tree shops around my area. I mean, it's not like it's about an hour away, but we do have them. I used to drive by one to go to work.
Okay, Gerald Neal, this is not a Christmas store. They don't sell Christmas stuff. Their new tagline is something like every season, every something. I don't know. They're just called Christmas tree shops, but they're not a Christmas store. They just sell Christmas stuff at Christmas, and that's it.
Yeah,
Let's
I've heard
see.
a lot of nice things about them. I've never been in one.
Oh, I love it. It's cheap too. Greensleeves 20 says shop with
Is
an
it
E
like?
or shops with an E.
Let me ask you: is it anything like Kirkland's? It sounds to me like it might be like a Kirkland's.
No, I don't. Well, I don't know. I've never been to Kirkland, but it's like Michael's and Hobby Lobby meets Odd Lots. It's an odd combination. That's what it is. They've got like housewares, decorations, crafts. That's pretty much what they have. Candy.
My ex-mother-in-law used to go here a lot. That's where I am kind of more familiar with it. Captain Kirkland's. Like Ollie's. Maybe.
Shelby is guessing
So
3
far
and
we've seen
has never seen shop.
Yeah, Shelby said that it's possible 3, but they're not sure. Gen C says 3 question mark.
Jency, you have it
Don't
backwards. Jency says, I guess it was called shops, SHOPS, but it changed to shop with an E or shop ES, and everyone remembers shops. You got it backwards. It is shops, which looks like snops, SNOPS. I photoshopped the H in the other ones to look right. Brian, can you go back to the logo for 1 minute? Can you go just back for 1 second? So they're bigger? Brian?
I remember it wasn't spelled like regular shops because it was spelled funny. And that's what kind of set it apart.
No, Brian, you're going the wrong way. Go the other way. Go back. There, stop.
I don't know if you can hear my neighbor's music or not. I hope not.
Okay, listen, guys. I want you to look at the H in shop at the bottom. Number 3 is the current reality. We remember 1 and 2. I have a dual memory of 1 and 2. Esther's having a dual memory of 1 and 2. Jeff remembers 1. Look at the H, though, in shop. It looks like snops.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
And I remember the H like I made it at the top. Anyway, now you can go on, Brian. Sorry. Esther still has to read the next slide. Stay here. Okay, Esther, go ahead.
When I searched for residue, I clearly remember.
Wait a minute. Wasn't Hebrew reading?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Hebrew, you still here?
Did he fall asleep?
Or maybe he walked away a minute.
Give me 1 second. You guys go ahead and read this one.
Okay. Go ahead, Esther.
When I searched for residue, I clearly remember number 1, but now I'm having a dual memory of 1 and 2, shop and shops. But it has always been Christmas tree shops, which is completely wrong. It was spelled the old English way in my past. It was a part of the charm and went well with the sleigh logo. Do you remember it like I do? Yeah, that's no. It wasn't just shops.
No, that looks so wrong to me.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
I would be severely disappointed if I went into a place called the Christmas Tree Shop and they didn't have anything Christmassy in there. I'm just saying.
I got you, but
you
know, they advertise, so you kind of know what's there when you're in the advertising area. But yeah, if you were visiting and you went there, yeah, I get it. I get it.
But other than that, I've never even heard of this place.
Like I said, there's like 100 stores. It's not a small chain. It's just a sporadic chain, and it is localized to the eastern region of the United States. But here's the residue for you, and you have to ask yourself why so many people are remembering it spelled this way. Like, if it was the other way around, if the store was SHOPS, like we remembered SHOPS, but it was always spelled this way, you'd be like, well, maybe you remember it wrong because shops is just a common spelling, you know? No, we're remembering it this weird way, and so are other people. That should tell you something.
Wow. Yeah, it's almost 2 hours away from me. That's why I haven't been to one.
I mean, I think I have 2 people who work there on LinkedIn, and they didn't know how to spell it. Which is pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was spelled with an E. I know it looked weird when I look at it differently, but when I see it on the sign, I remember it with the E.
Shops.
Because I have seen the actual sign before. And I remember
Yeah.
it being spelled funny.
Man, we have like the hardest and weirdest language in the freaking world. This, the way we spell like silent E's and silent P's and stuff like that. Like that one was Shopes, but pronounced shops.
Yes, Gerald Neal says shop with an E makes you think of Santa's toy shop. Just saying. And that's what I'm saying. It went with the sleigh. It was the charm. It was SHOPPE, and I think it was an S. I'm not sure about the S, but I know it was SHOPPE. I know it was.
I think for me it was shop because I don't remember shops being plural. It looks right with the S when I look at it, but I do remember shop was always like
it might have changed twice. That's why I remember one, but I'm also remembering 2.
By the way, quick update. My cigarette has chicken grease on it, so if I go away for a minute, it's because I'm on fire. Okay. Go ahead.
So here is from a school. Class of 2021. They're having a barbecue fundraiser at the Toys R Us and Christmas tree shops. HOPPES. Let's see. Oh, here's the 2 LinkedIns as well. We have a woman named Barbara and a guy named Frank. One was a merchandise coordinator at Christmas tree shop. The other one it just says retired Christmas tree shop. So they both worked at Christmas tree shop and don't know how to spell it. And there's another one in the bottom corner. And here's some people buying things from the place who don't know the store they went to. More people buying from there, taking pictures there.
Shop till you drop.
Yeah.
Till you drop.
See, now that would be a great tagline for the store if they kept their name on it.
Hey, but what is it called now?
It's just normal. SHOPS.
That's weird.
Yeah. For me, it's like
That
the
reminds-
Toys R Us thing and all of that. Like
That reminds me of the Men's Warehouse. That changed.
Yeah.
What's changed about Men's Warehouse?
It's where it's WEAR as opposed to warehouse like the other way.
Oh, like
the ARE.
Wear something? Like that, you mean? That's weird.
Yeah.
Why would they
Yeah, it is weird.
call it that if it's a warehouse? That don't make sense.
Well,
Nope. I had a really good one tonight, but it's huge, and I didn't get it done in time. So it'll be next week, but it's a long one.
Ooh, I can't wait for that. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, good. And I did ask, I don't know if he can, but I asked Brian Staveley to join us because I needed his input on some of it due to his previous location.
I just saw green sleeves 20. You know, you no longer like the way you look. I guarantee it.
That's great.
I hope he doesn't actually say that now.
Oh boy. Hey, is that guy that did those commercials? Isn't that the same Hisaki's guy?
I don't know who that the second one is.
Hisaki's, you know, the greatest men in the world, you know, those commercials.
No, I don't know that commercial. I honestly
Really?
don't. Yeah.
Huh. How about you, Brian? You must know those commercials.
Which ones?
The greatest man in the world, the Hisaki's.
No, I hadn't seen that.
Maybe it's local to you.
Oh no. This is he'd sit there, he'd be like doing something amazing, like jumping off of a cliff or something, and then it cut away to him drinking a beer. It's like, I don't always drink beer, but when I do.
Oh, the Heineken guy.
No, it's a Mexican beer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Dos Equis.
Yeah.
I thought you said Helsaki.
Oh,
I'm not kidding.
did I?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was like, what is a Helsaki?
Yes, I remember that guy. There's so many memes out there with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, we've had a fun night. Does anyone have any other comments before we close? I'm really sorry I had to turn my mic off. Evie was just being very talkative. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Hopefully,
No,
you
I
all
mean,
had
that's it. Like I said, I had.
What was the most interesting one we've had tonight to you guys?
That's for you, chat.
Yeah, please post in the chat and in the
That's very
comments what you found to be the most interesting effect.
Or which one affected you the most?
Yes. Can I tell you for me?
Sure, Brian.
All right, for me, it was those so-called, we call them space peanuts from the sky. That was pretty interesting. Those meteorites, they're like
The ice thing.
giant blocks of ice that fall from the sky and can hurt you or your car or your dog. And they make craters in the grass.
I'm going to have to agree with Brian on that one. I think that was the most interesting one for tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll have plenty more next week. I think we mentioned Teresa has like 12 of them or something.
I was exaggerating, but she has like six or seven.
She's got a bunch of them for next week. Yeah. So
and I'm not doing mine because I'm too busy doing hers. So I have like a backlog of about 45 things.
wow.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, Sandy. Yeah, like we're gonna have to probably split those up as well, right? Because there's so many of them.
No, Brian, we're gonna do 45 folders next week.
Well, you remember you did that though. You did like a real you had to split your show up into three segments. You remember that?
Oh, that was the
New Year's one. That was at the end of the year.
Countdown. Yeah, the top 23 Mandela effect.
Yeah, you did them all. You were trying to do them all in one night, but it was impossible.
Oh yeah, gosh, it was horrible. It was too long.
Yeah. Durst, Men's Warehouse, Durst. I'm reading the their most interesting one. I'll have to rewatch Jack Lemmon. So I guess Durst and the Men's Warehouse. Even though we technically that was just kind of an
We did
added.
cover it. Yeah, that we covered that years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hebrew, thanks for coming on. I hope you become more regular.
Oh, and everyone.
Oh, hey, thanks for.
If you have more time, you can come on more regular.
I will try, Brian. Thanks for having me on.
Sure, yeah.
And
You're welcome.
I'd like to. You may have noticed Jeff isn't here tonight. Please say a prayer for his spouse. I guess she's not feeling well, so
Oh no.
we wish her a very speedy recovery,
Yeah,
and
hopefully she's
we will keep her in our prayers.
back to normal. The weather's been crazy up and down. Now I don't know about you guys. It's been rather warm here in Alabama, but it's been relatively cooler though. Have you guys noticed that? Like,
No,
we
it
had
was
one year. It was
90 degrees here.
It was hot out.
Oh yeah, it was
last
hot.
Friday.
Yeah,
I
it
got
was.
my
It was
hair
at
on
least.
right now.
It was 80 degrees here. That's the thing, though. You could have 80 degrees one day and it become 40 degrees the next day around here.
Yeah,
It's so crazy.
same here.
It's pretty cool
Yeah.
at night,
Anyway.
but during the day it's definitely really warm.
Yeah, but I checked the Weather Channel. They said we're supposed to have a relatively cooler summer compared to
Hi,
previous
Superman.
summers.
I hope that's true because our air conditioner just died.
Oh
no.
yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I have two in my bedroom, so I'm gonna have to put one out in the living room.
All right. Well, prayers are going out to everybody. We used to do prayers at the end of the show. I think it might be a good idea to do that. We still have a couple minutes here to spare. You want to do a little prayer?
Yeah, Brian, why don't you say one especially for Jeff's girlfriend?
All right. Well, Lord, we ask you graciously, humbly, to watch over Jeff and his spouse, and hopefully she'll be back to normal, back to the way she was feeling before all this. Anyone who's in need of prayer, for those that we haven't mentioned, let the prayers go their way as well. We're dealing with some really tough times, you guys, and we have to persevere. You got to stay strong in the Lord, and really keep your eyes on Jesus. We really need from the heart. It's got to be from the heart. We want to be in that place with you, Lord, that and just watch over our families and our friends, and help us to convince others that what's going on. This Mandela effect is really to me, it's a wake up call for everybody, and we know there's going to be some really wild times ahead. That's why we have to prepare, and we need your guidance, Lord. That's all. Again, thank you for always being there for us and not giving us more than we can handle, Lord. Also, send some help Sandy's way for her air conditioner unit. Just spread your love, you guys. And thank you, Jesus, for everything. Jesus' name, amen. Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
All right. Anyone else have any other requests before we close?
Hebrew, is there anything you wanted to share? Like, is there anything you wanted to talk about before we leave?
I mean, no, not really. I'm just glad I didn't catch myself on fire when I had chicken grease on my cigarette. That was dangerous. Other other than that, no, I'm good, man.
Good, very good.
Well, that's good. Amen. Yeah, because it could have been worse. Always think to yourself, things could be worse. Okay.
Ways.
The gas prices are one of those things we have to pray about as well, that they don't cut us off completely.
The food is more important to me.
Yeah,
The food prices are out of control.
Family, God, family, then work and money and all that. Yeah, that's the way it should be, in that order. He will provide. The Lord always provides. Remember that. Okay. We appreciate you guys. Have a great Mandela Effect night, and God bless. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everyone.
Night, everyone.
Good night.